Great. Welcome, everyone. We're adjourned our closed session and we're reconvening an open session of the May 6, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Trustees. And we did not take any action to report out from our closed session. So our first item is to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Maybe all of our retiring people would help me read the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. So our first item is recognition of the certificated and classified retirees for the 2023-2024 year. And Dr. Inglesby will present for us.
All right.
So nice to see all of you here.
I'll let Brian project.
Whoa.
It sounded like. What my help?
Now this party started, right?
Just a water bottle.
All right, well, thank you very much, President Hoxie, for introducing me. Each year I have the privilege of conducting our employee celebration. So last month we had our teacher and classified employees, and this month we have our retirees. They're both classified and certificated. We have a small but mighty class. We have 7 individuals retiring, 175 years worth of service and education. 2 years ago, we had 14 retiring, so it's small, as I said, but mighty. So let's begin with this next one here. It's Dr. Joan Selvin. We have 3 people who unfortunately aren't able to be here this evening. And so I just want to celebrate Joan Selvin. Last month, we celebrated her as the Classified Employee of the Year at Sleepy Hollow. 25 years as a assistant at Sleepy Hollow. She truly is a legend. We have Susan Chase, who has finished her career of 26 years at Wagner Ranch as a 5th grade teacher. So we celebrate Susan. And Anita Scalise, who was on our inaugural class of TK teachers when California started transitioning to transitional kindergarten. And she is finishing at Wagner Ranch as a TK teacher with 32 years. So congratulations to Joan. All right. Our next honoree, Ray Tag. Please come on. So Rain was our district occupational therapist for 18 years.
Come on up. On
Rain and
camera.
I go back a long time, at least since 2011, when I was the director of special education and special services. Rain and I got to spend a lot of hours together. So as Rain says here, the children are what make this job a joy. And just saying a few things about Rain. Rain served as our district occupational therapist for 18 years. She's our sole district occupational therapist. So that means you could be at 4 or 5 schools in a day, or 5 schools in 5 days. So she was truly itinerant, meeting the needs of our students with occupational therapy needs. So thank you, Rain, for your enthusiasm and your work you did with each of our students with occupational therapy needs. You always showed up with a smile on your face, even for those last minute IEPs where someone said, "Did we notify Rain?" She goes, "I'll make it. I'm going to be there. I'll have my goals. I'll make it." So she'd run across town, get there in time for our IEPs. I personally appreciate Rain I appreciate you for your collaborative spirit and putting kids first and thinking about their needs of services in the district. So congratulations on your retirement. Rain actually retired on the first day of this school year. And so now it's official. And we have a certificate and a Orinda Golden Bell And next up, we have Allison Waterman. Allison and Stacy. So Allison, with 28 years at OIS as a sixth grade core teacher, a favorite memory, as Allison shares here, my favorite memories are when my students share their enthusiasm with me about something they've learned in my class. Some students tell me of their triumphs, such as winning an award in the Youth Inc. writing contest. Others return after they've left sixth grade for IS to tell me about how well prepared they felt for their next academic challenge or how much they enjoy writing or studying. I treasure these memories. Congratulations, Allison.
Since you were just here a couple weeks ago, I got nothing. Allison was our teacher of the year also, as the board member, of course. Like, as Brian was saying, for me, Allison always put students first. She always thought the students. And her steadfast dedication to the students and to every question, every thought would always be about what's best for your students, for all of our students. So I talked to her current students. I talked to 7th grade students and 8th grade students and got a couple of quotes from them. So current students said, Ms. Waterman's projects are always fun and her style of teaching is very different from other teachers. She's calm when she teaches. That's complicated right now. She's calm when she teaches, is always nice to her students and always attentive to their needs. That was a 6th grader.
Wow.
I thought that was, attentive is a really good word.
Great vocabulary.
Teaches us really valuable information and gives us enough time to do all our assignments. She's not strict about due dates and makes sure we have enough time. She's been teaching for a really long time, which is impressive. She does her one thing. I wrote she does her one thing, but I think the student said she does her own thing in a good way to benefit her students. So I said, well, what do you mean by that? And he elaborated a little bit. He said, well, sometimes even if the other 6th grade core teachers are doing something, she'll do something else instead of her house. I'll cut around the good and stand, of course. So last year's students, so current 7th graders, said it's good that she always pushed us to improve and to be the best version of ourselves. She never let us go easy on ourselves. The classroom activities were really fun and she set up the classroom environment really well. She taught in a way that was engaging. The class parties, when everyone brought food, were fun. She would pick spots. I said, what are you talking about? He said, seating assignments that were good for you because she understood people. We learned to work with everyone in the class. And then our 8th graders said, I would say it was the one year I learned the most. I remember learning how humans evolved. And she was always very passionate and I had a really fun time in her class. Ms. Waterman was definitely a very interesting teacher. She definitely pushed us, especially with history. She was really good at explaining history. I also remember the poetry unit. She yelled at me for talking too much during that unit. She threw fun parties. So that's the thing. And then 2 of her 6th grade core colleagues said Allison is a wonderful colleague and friend who's always been a reliable resource in our core department. She has a great sense of humor and I enjoy stopping by her room daily just to say hi. Allison will be missed, but we're so happy she gets to begin this new chapter. And the most in-depth curricula and materials ever. She's a valuable asset to our team, campus, and community, and wealth of knowledge. She's always available to support her students and colleagues. We wish her happiness and retirement. And we know she'll be back.
Thank you, Allison. Congratulations. All right. And next, come on up, Jim Bartleman. So Jim is TK teacher Glorietta, 31 years as kindergarten, now TK, again, an inaugural member of the TK teaching class here in Orinda. Some favorite memories of Jim is re-experiencing the world through the fresh eyes of my students, being recharged by watching their new lives unfold. Their unquenchable inquisitiveness, boundless joy, and refreshingly honest expressions of love and friendship have kept me close to the center of life. Congratulations, Jim.
This took me a really long time to raise. I have heard of the legendary tales of Jen Bartleman's classroom and the wizardry ever since I joined the district 18 years ago. Finally, this year, I have the privilege of witnessing his magic firsthand. And let me tell you, it is truly enchanting. Jim is a master of the young mind, specializing in the growth and development of 4 and 5-year-olds. Now picture stepping into his classroom. Amidst a sea of 20-some TKs, there's an unexpected tranquility. Jim might be found at the front, effortlessly imparting new concepts of his eager students as they hang on every word he says, or maybe strumming his guitar or ukulele, or perhaps guiding a drawing session, or presenting a meticulous crafted activity that's tailored to each child. In fact, his hand-drawn worksheets reflect both his personal touch and also ensuring that they are precisely what each student needs at their developmental stage. The activities in Jim's classroom are not just tasks, they're voyages of discovery, cleverly infused with learning that feels more like play than study. Students transition seamlessly from independent explorations to collaborative ventures guided by Mr. Bartleman or his aide. They learn letters, shapes, cooperation, and the art of attentive listening, all while having a blast. Jim's unique approach instills not just academic knowledge, but also important life lessons. How to be kind, how to be a good friend, how to navigate the world with curiosity and compassion. Now, I estimated, because of class size reduction over years and all the things that have happened, that Jim has touched the lives of approximately 800 students.
Wow.
In kindergarten and TK only.
Wow.
During his tenure, a testament to his dedication and impact. He's not just a teacher, he's a beacon of inspiration and warmth. Those 800 or so lucky students learned a way that can only be known as the Mr. Bartleman way of teaching. I have never truly seen anything like it. Jim is also an expert of all things Orinda and Glorietta. In fact, in one of our first meetings, he gave me such a history of Orinda and Glorietta. I thought at the time, he needs to write this down so we don't lose all this information. Now, during that same meeting, Jim, I don't know if you remember, but you also told me you never wanted to retire.
I did.
Here we are today, celebrating your retirement.
Actually, there was a great reason for that. I'm a member of the so-called baby boomers, and I can remind some of you who weren't around at the time that boomers had these 2 great brags that they made in the 60s. One of the brags was, "We're gonna live forever." Imagine my disappointment. The second one was, "We're going to change the world." It's my feeling that I've been able to change, not the whole world, that's too much to try to, but a very tiny little piece of it, and that's right here. Right now. Wow.
And in that meeting, he told me he loved his job so much, he couldn't ever see himself not doing it. He loved the kids and his colleagues. He loved the school. Well, Jim, I want to let you know that the students and your colleagues and the school love you so much too. There will be a little piece missing next year when
Big piece.
are there driving into your parking spot and carrying your basket of learning into your classroom. But fear not, your legacy will endure. Jim, you left a mark on all of us. And as you embark on this next chapter, I want you to remember that retirement may beckon, but your presence is still required, whether it's strumming alongside our kindergartners or simply dropping by for a visit. So Jim, here's to you. May your retirement be as rich and fulfilling as your teaching career. And remember that Glorietta and Orinda will always be your home.
That's right. Jim, congratulations.
Thank you. 31 years.
Wow.
All right. Our next extraordinary retiree, Debbie Jamison. What's about Debbie? Debbie's very subtle laughter. Yeah, you really have that. Her sense of style and fashion. Whenever Debbie had an event to do, it might be this very event where we might have cakes or cookies or some type of reception. It wasn't just putting it out on a plate. It was actually putting it in a tiered dish that was like, that she made the cookies and all herself. We're not gonna buy, we're not gonna go to Safeway for those kinds of things. They're extraordinary. She was an extraordinary baker, that's what we remember. We loved her quilts. She would bring by, this is the quilt I'm working on, and it's so amazing. And her contagious positivity and smile are just incredible. And I remember I have an office 10 feet from where Debbie superintendent are here in our district office. And so I feel like I kind of grew up with her grandson, Carter. It would be 7:15, 7:30. Carter's waking up, she has him on the phone. I can hear it in the morning. She's talking to Carter before Carter can talk. And now, then over the years, Carter taught me back. It's just remarkable, your connection that every day he got to see his grandmother. That's really quite extraordinary. So congratulations, and Aida's going to say a few words.
We actually haven't had any cookies since you left. There's no cookies tonight. Debbie retired. Oh, Debbie. Debbie was the first person I met. I was wandering around the building. It's a really confusing building, looking for where to interview. And Debbie was like, oh my goodness, you need to not be here. So she's the first person I met looking around this building. And the first thing you notice about Debbie, as Brian said, is her fashion sense. She's always the best dressed and most fashionable person in the room. One time I had a pair of shoes on and Debbie said, oh, I have the same pair at home. And that was the best compliment. But in addition to her sense of fashion, gray hair, and she's changed styles, as you can tell, with all sorts of reiterations of Debbie's hair. She was simply exceptional at everything that she does. Her absolute attention to detail, her anticipation of all of our needs, her knowledge of everyone's job, what we needed to get done, what it should all look like was absolutely astonishing. She kept all of us in check. She did everything to perfection and with tremendous positive energy. She was managing the superintendent. She was managing the directors. She was managing the board and the last board. She was managing the principals and everyone else. I could have not asked for a better partner to work with than Debbie. And I say partner as being in this position is much more than just working together. Debbie treated all of us like a family, and we were a family. I actually called her my spouse at work. And I mentioned Carter as well. We knew how Carter was growing up, what was happening, what kind of trucks he liked, what books he was reading, what costumes Debbie was making. We exchanged what costumes I was making. Sometimes we took part in those daily calls. And we shared our family stories with her. Debbie was everyone's friend. She was our confidant and support system. And it is this support systems that we all missed when Debbie left. And we're so grateful for her help and her well-being and the return of Debbie-ness. And just love seeing her in this room. We actually have a stack of board minutes for you to type. So no angels on it. Thank you, Debbie, for being a tremendous part of the district. We have missed your amazing energy and your laughter and your busyness around the office. And we're just so happy that you're healthily retired to your family. Thank you.
All right, so congratulations to all of our wonderful extraordinary retirees. And thank you so much for the love of our heart here. Orinda, thank you so much for helping me make this and making fun.
Retirees, please stay after we honor our one Orinda and Parent Club volunteers. We'll do some pictures of everybody. I don't know if any board members want to say anything, but this is an extraordinary group of retirees. We will miss each and every one of you, and we appreciate all of your contributions to our district in so many ways. Just really wonderful to be here with all of you today and your families. And thank you, families, for coming to support all of these wonderful people. And it's one of the traditions that I like most during the year is our ability to celebrate the hard work and dedication. I mean, the years of service is just incredible and says so much about what's special about Orinda. So thank you so much. I don't know if any board members had anything they wanted to say, but.
No, I think you summed it up.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, we're such an exceptional school district. I mean, clearly you've just heard some unbelievable magic that happens in our classrooms and in our office. And we're just so honored to have such wonderful staff members working here. And we're amazed by our talented students every day. And then we have another aspect of us that makes us truly unique, and that's our support of our parents. And tonight's just a small way of recognizing that support and saying thank you, because it's truly unprecedented of what happens in this district with this unique support and this unique dedication from our parents. So we're going to recognize our outgoing parent club presidents and one Orinda presidents. Our parents fundraise millions of dollars to support our core programs. And when we say that, we mean staffing, we mean supplies, technology, extracurriculars, and more. They also organize hundreds of volunteers to support our schools. We need volunteers to help in the classrooms, at lunch, or during plays. Tonight, we thank you for all that you do. We are so grateful for your dedication and your ongoing support. And please know that because of your work, our students are better off every day. So with that, we're going to start our recognitions, and I'd like Mr. Rogers to come on up now. We just recognized Brian Rogers at the Las Trompas Creek Council. Yes, thank you. I don't know what this stands for, but it was a service award. So I feel like we just did this and it was a wonderful recognition. So we'll start tonight by recognizing Brian Rogers, and you actually cannot be part of this district and not know who Brian Rogers is. As the outgoing president of one, Brian exemplifies all the characteristics of the amazing parent community that we have in Orinda. He truly believes in our schools, education, and equity for all of our students, and has supported that with his work through one. He has worked hard to change the culture of this entire community with establishing the foundation, which has under his leadership grown, expanded, focused, and with that improved education of thousands of our children. Brian is brilliant and one of the rare people who truly understands the state budget, district budgets, parent club budgets, one Orinda budget, and really gets why schools exist. In addition to his tremendous knowledge and brilliance, his calmness, patience, and easygoing approach has built trust and relationships. Brian has and still navigates many very challenging issues and conversations within the district, and we appreciate his approach and his vision. He has always been a partner in solving problems, and I hope he sticks around to continue to do so. He's got a lot of kids. I know he's going to be around, even if not in the film. Thank you for stay. I stay.
Great.
Thank you for everything on behalf of the district, the board, and all the staff. We really appreciate your work. Thank you so much. Usually we'll have our principal speak on for the parent clubs. Unfortunately, Delray principal Maple Lai is out and ill tonight, but she has written her remarks. So if we can have Jinsun Park come on up, that would be wonderful. Sorry, you don't get people up. So it has been, this is from me. It has been a pleasure to work with Jinsun Park and Stephanie this year as our co-presidents for our Del Rey Parent Club. Tonight, I want to express my appreciation to our outgoing president, Jinsun, for her commitment and dedication to our school. Jinsun is consistently solution-seeking with a focus on supporting and bettering our school. I appreciate her thoughtfulness, ability to streamline information into actionable steps, and genuine calm presence. So true, I saw it too. Jinsun, thank you for truly being a great collaborator. I look forward to continuing our strong parent partnerships with Stephanie and Sean in the next school year. Congratulations. You know, I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. We'll have Patsy come up.
Thank you.
So I am here to acknowledge the hard work of Stephanie Ray, who was our outgoing co-president. She was meeting with our incoming and Nikki Maines, and we were talking about the role of what a president does for the Parents Club. And the word support came up a lot. And I have to say, Stephanie, you really embody the definition of that word, because no matter if it's supporting teachers, students, staff members, parents, the entire community, you are always there, ready and willing to support. She came onto the scene on the Parent Club co-presidents about 2 years ago. We started to join in on our meetings, and for those of you who don't know, Sleepy Hollow sort of started a major project about 2 years ago. And it was not a big deal. She was coming along for the ride and was going to support that construction project as anyone does. So 2 years ago, we started, and Stephanie was nothing but supportive. A few months later, she had baby number 3 while she was being the supportive co-president, and it was not a big deal either. She came right in with the new baby on our weekly meetings, and the baby was just as supportive as you were. And the last thing I think of when I think about Stephanie is really just this can-do attitude, and you have been nothing but a can-do kind of positive mindset with us forever. What's most exciting about Baby Isla is that we know that in 4 years or so, we'll get right back into the swing of things with another new student of yours. And we really do appreciate all of the hard work, but mostly, and dedication, all that good stuff. But I have to say, the level of enthusiasm that Stephanie brings to any meeting is really, it's just really fun. You just always are having this lovely twist to what might be a heavy topic, but you've got a way to look at it that makes it all feel super hopeful. And we're just really proud to have you figure out. Very good.
Will you present for Wagner?
We didn't expect to see Bella tonight,
She is
but
very complex.
we'll honor her. So it's my pleasure to thank Morgan Tower, who is here, one of our presidents, and Bella Sheeran, for serving as president of our Parents Club. Personally grateful to Bella because a year ago, around today, I was onboarding as the new principal at Wagner Ranch. She put a lot of time and care into onboarding me and educating me about our community. And I'll forever be grateful for that. And then I have some comments from her peers as well, which are very enlightening. And here's what her peers had to say. Bella was a Wagner Ranch miracle, and we didn't have a co-president signing up due to a last-minute dropout, but Bella talked with another former president And she said, why not? And that has been her motto ever since. She's creative, resourceful, funny, diligent, and she knows how to get a job done. We're grateful for her lawyer mind and how she has helped shape and reshape our board and bylaws. And although her tenure as president is ending, she is so excited to be parliamentarian and clean up all of our board minutes and be a resource for others. She is genuinely excited about cataloging our Wagner Ranch history. Bella brings a spirit and sense of purpose and belonging to everything she does, and we are so grateful we have her for another 5 years at our school. We'll start youngest is in kindergarten this year to help keep pushing us forward. So cheers to Bella.
I don't think mine. Kevin's not. Oh, yes. So one of the first questions I had as I was learning all things Glorietta for Tracy, who's joining us tonight, last year was, oh, who are the Parents Club presidents? Love to meet with them. And she said, well, you have that. And I was like, oh, but a miracle happened, and Natalie, who was our outgoing president, came and found 2 people to step in. Stacy Hersher, who came on, and then Kevin Friedman, who I like to say embodies all things Glorietta, as he is a former gopher himself. And he will come to meetings in his gopher pants and his shirts and everything. And they have been great. And Kevin served as president before, and then COVID hit. And so he kind of fulfilled his 2nd year this year. But so lucky to have both of them, and Kevin's enthusiasm and he just wants Glorietta to be everything that he remembers it as a kid and move it forward and just do well by all the students. And so lucky to have both of them this year and to have Kevin come on for that 2nd year and all the legacy and information that he knows and is able to offer, and he's very student-centered and how can we do best by our kids. So thank you so much. Thank you. Finally, we hear from Stacy, and I know Jen is here.
I'm not gonna let Jen leave. I'm always in awe and super appreciative, and I think one of the great things, like Aida mentioned about our district, is the partnership that we have with parents. I feel like my job would be measurably harder without our supportive parents. And Jen has been great, and I've really enjoyed working with her in the last 2 years. She always asks, what can I do to help? In every meeting, what can I do? And I'm like, I'm not sure. And she's always there to pick something up, even if it's last minute. She helped tremendously with our Blue Ribbon Schools Award last year, and then this year with our ribbon cutting ceremony. It came together very last minute. She likes ribbons. Always with ribbons. And always really brings her A game. And so luckily she'll be parliamentarian, so she's not going too far. We'll have her for another year. But I'm so grateful for everything.
Well, thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all so much for being here and for all the hard work that you do to support the district.
Absolutely. We could not have our district without all of you and all of the contributions you make to our schools every day. I particularly want to thank Brian Rogers. The work you did to create One Orinda and transform EFO into One Orinda has really been a turning point for our district, and bringing all of our parents clubs together and One Orinda under one umbrella has really made a huge difference to our district. And so I thank you. I thank all of our volunteers, because Orinda runs on volunteers. We couldn't possibly do as much as we do for all of our students without all of you and the work you do. I'd like to take a few-minute recess so we can take some photos of our retirees, of our PC presidents and One Orinda, and thank all of the family and friends for coming to support everybody. And then we'll reconvene in 5 to 10 minutes.
Great.
Thank you.